Hey everyone, I hope you're all having a beautiful day so far. Today I'm going to be sharing with you some easy holiday brunch and dessert ideas. These are scrumptious, easy recipes that you can make for all day long if you want to during the holiday season or whenever, but it's something simple that you can either take to a party, or if you're hosting a holiday party, you can make easy finger foods that everybody will absolutely devour. So I hope you are excited for today's video. If you enjoy it, be sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Everything will be found in the description box below this video. Just tap the more button right underneath the title. It'll take you to everything, and I'll also leave a comment with a lot of the items that I'm sharing in today's video as well. But yeah, I hope you enjoy it. If you happen to be new here, hello and welcome. My name is Emily, and I hope that you are inspired and motivated after watching today's video. So got lots to share with you, so let's get to it. So I am actually going to use this beautiful garland that I got from Walmart. I love this. I've been sharing this with you since I think October because it's just so good. It's a nice, beautiful mixed garland. It's really full. You just gotta fluff it and it looks so beautiful. But I'm really excited to be partnering with Walmart for today's video because I have found almost all of my Christmas decor and decorations at Walmart this year because they're just so good, and it's kind of a one-stop shop. I can get Christmas presents there, which I already have. I can get food and everything. It's just nice. So figure out the layout of how you want all your food to be placed, and make sure that if other people are bringing food over, that you leave enough space for them to add their dishes in as well and still have a nice flow to it. So keep that in mind, especially if you know what people are bringing. That helps a lot too. So I'm gonna start with this beautiful 9-foot garland, and I'm just gonna drape it all the way across my island. If your island is not that big, no worries, you can just bend it, or you can have it, I have a little swoop to it and stuff. I'm gonna make mine go in the direction that I want everybody to flow in. So with this, I'm just gonna kind of layer it on and then bend it so that it has a pretty flow to it. Kind of making spots for the food to go. The general pathway down for the food, then I will start adding in a few decorations here and there, so that way it doesn't, impede the space for the food, but makes it look really pretty. So I found this at Walmart. They have these in like 3 or 4 different shades. I love it. They have the Santa, they have the Nutcracker, they have trees. I like the snowman, it's kind of pretty. So what I like to do is just kind of put them in almost like a little pocket and then work around it. This is the mirrored tree that I also got from Walmart. It's really pretty, I love it. It's a really nice size too. And I just have that mixed with my other island decor, so I'm not really changing too much up there. I like to mix the metals. I think it looks really pretty, especially for Christmas time, because they just add that little extra pop to the space. It makes it feel a little bit more festive, at least to me it does. So I have these really pretty gold trees. They come in 2 different sizes. You can buy them as a set or individually, but they're from Walmart as well. And I think they're really pretty. And they offer a way to add some height to the space, but not have everything super matchy-matchy, I will add over here, the tree here. And then I just like to take the garland and just kind of wrap it around the trees and some of the other objects, just to make it look like it just flows really nicely. Once all that is in place, then I like to set up my drink station, and I like that to be off to the side in one area so that it doesn't clog up the space for when people are just grabbing their food. How adorable is this tree drink holder? Isn't it adorable? I love it. It also comes in green. You can find this at Walmart as well, and it's super easy to refill because the top comes right off. It is very large. It's great because you could put punch in here, orange juice, just plain water if you want, and it doesn't look so boring. It's really fun and festive in this, and it has a little lip here on the bottom, so you can actually put it in a drink holder as well. So just use a cake plate and use that as the riser for your drink holder. These plates from Time and Table. They are a Walmart collection. They are so pretty. I have the salad plate in this design, and then I have the regular dinner plate in this really pretty checkered design. They have bowls, everything, so pretty. You can also buy it as a set, which is really nice. But I like this. If I'm serving a dinner, I like real plates. If I'm doing more finger foods and stuff, and I say don't want any dishes, then I will go with paper plates. Walmart has so many cute options that say Merry Christmas that pair with it for a little bit smaller, and then they also have the matching napkins. So whatever style you're gonna get, they have the matching set. They even have cups for it. So you can keep everything in one theme, or you can split it up and do 2 different themes, or 3 if you want. That's always easy, but this is an easy way to not have any dishes, and I kind of like it for brunch if I'm not doing anything that's really requiring like, you know, cutting or anything. Paper plates are just easy, because then when you're done, you can go have fun and you don't have to do any of the dishes. You just put the leftovers away in the fridge. I've got a lot of recipes to share, so for this first one I picked up a couple chocolate covered treats at Walmart. These are marshmallows and then the pretzels, and they were really good. I paired it with some raspberries, alternating the colors, and then added some grapes, but you could use strawberries or any fruit you want, but I thought it looked fun and festive, and it's always yummy any time of the day. This next recipe can be breakfast or dessert, but you're going to take crescent rolls, or you can make your own dough, but this keeps it very simple, and you're just going to layer it into a circle. And then you're going to add cream cheese, but if you're making this dessert, you could add Nutella or whatever filling you want. It's completely your choice, and you're just going to spread it more on the outer part. I used homemade jam next, just some strawberry, and then I topped it with some huckleberries that we had, and then you're just going to take those loose ends that were in the middle and you're going to fold this over. Really simple, and you're going to think, oh my goodness, it's going to burn. No, it's not. I promise you, it turns out so good, and it's just a simple, yummy recipe. Then you're going to egg wash it, and this does for any shape, whether it's dessert or breakfast, and then I like to cover the top with some chunky sugar, and then you're going to bake it for about 12 to 15 minutes at 400 degrees and dust it with some powdered sugar. I went a little heavy, oops. And then I just transferred it to the pretty plate, and then you can just slice it as you go. It's so good and scrumptious, and it's just super easy. But I chose to do a wreath, but you can do any holiday shape you want. Next one's going to be great if you're having more of a buffet style brunch, or you can use for dessert, whatever. But I just took my regular waffles and I cut them into triangles, and then I made a tray for each of the toppings. So this is really easy, and this tray came from Walmart. So simple, easy, and that's a one little brunch idea for you. But now we're going to move into a couple more recipes that can be used any time of the day. This is a great dish to take to a party, or if you're having one, because it's simple, easy, and it's kind of filling. So the recipe is there on the screen for you of what I used for this particular one. And once you have that all together, you're going to knead this. You can put it in the mixer, but since it was such a little amount of dough, I just kneaded it by hand. But you're going to do that for about 5 or so minutes. And just kind of put some Christmas music on and enjoy the process. I find baking so relaxing, so hopefully you do too. But once that's kneaded, you're going to cover and set it to the side in a greased bowl. Then what you're going to need is some mozzarella, some butter, and then I use basil, oregano, and garlic powder. And then you're going to need your risen dough. It only takes about an hour for it to rise. And I'm just going to spread some flour on the top and the bottom. I'm just going to lightly roll this out. You don't want to deflate it too much. And just kind of get the general shape, and you're going to just cut squares basically into the dough, and you're going to use those squares to make the little dough balls basically. And then you're going to chop up the mozzarella. I find that if it's about 1/2 inch to 1 inch is a pretty good size. If you want them to be extra gooey, then I would say make it put 2 of them in the ball and make your balls a little bit bigger. That way it'll be a little bit more ooey and gooey. But I just kind of twisted off the excess dough, because I found that if it's sometimes too doughy, it's not as yummy. At least to me it isn't. So I made the bottom of the tree. You can do this in any shape. A snowflake would be awesome, but the kids wanted a tree, so I did a tree. And then I like to always take my piece of dough, and any leftovers I have, I always put some chocolate chips on the inside. You're going to brush it with some butter, bake it, and then when it comes out, you're going to brush it with the herb butter. And wow, what a difference the herb butter makes on it. It does fall apart a little bit on you, but it's really, really good. And you just serve it with some marinara sauce, and it is delicious. This was gone in literally like 2 minutes. So this is the tray that I used for the waffles, and it's great because it collapses, so it's easy to store, and you can use the plates for serving any time of the year. You don't have to use it on the tray itself, which is really nice. But with this, I decided to make homemade bagels, and oh my goodness, they were so good. So I just used my sourdough bread recipe for this, and then instead of shaping it, I just took it out of the fridge, and then I'm cutting it into pieces, and then just kind of putting them them into balls, kind of gathering the dough. I'm not kneading this whatsoever. I'm just kind of bringing it together into a ball shape. And I'm going to do that to all of the pieces. I just did half my recipe, so you get about 7 bagels from half the recipe. I let them rise while the water came to a boil, and then I just dusted my hands, and as you saw, with some flour, and I'm just making a small hole in the middle. They look like little donuts. To my boiling water, I'm going to add about a tablespoon of baking soda, and then I'm going to drop those in, and they're going to be about 20 seconds, 25 seconds on each side, and then you flip them, and then you're going to take them out. I just put them on a wire rack, that way it would drain, and then you can put whatever toppings you want on top. So I did an everything bagel seasoning, which was really good, and then I did pretzel salt. I do not recommend doing the pretzel salt because if it stays on in a, like if you store them, it becomes soggy. So don't do that unless you're going to eat them immediately, and don't use very much salt. I used way too much. They were really wow. So that's okay. That's why we're making this now, so I can be prepared for all my guests. But one thing I decided to do with one of the trays was make like a butter board for half of it. These are really popular. I've never made one before, so I kept it very simple. Just added a little bit of salt and pepper, and then some red pepper flakes. You can add whatever herbs, and then I used some cranberry goat cheese. It was kind of sweet, it wasn't tart, and it was really, really good. So I liked giving the 2 options, and then you can just set your bagels up. You can slice them, or they can make them however they want. Kind of fun, and I like that it's really versatile. This next one was super easy, and it's great for a brunch. I just layered in peppered salami and then regular, and then I added the crackers and just made everything into triangles pretty much, and it's really pretty, and they can kind of dip throughout the day. You can use other things besides just mozzarella too. Hopefully you're getting lots of ideas and kind of getting those wheels turning for some recipes that you want to try. And you can change up all the fillings to this. This is just the idea. Using puff pastry dough, and you're going to spread Nutella on half of it, or whatever filling that you want, and then you're going to fold it over, and then you can use your cookie cutters. This is great doing with your kids. They enjoyed this so much. And you're going to kind of want to wiggle those a little bit to go all the way through the dough. And then we did the same thing, but with jam this time, and I kind of used the cookie cutter as to figure out where I wanted to put the jam. But if you are going to put jam, because it spreads a lot faster, you're going to want to pinch the edges. So I just used a fork for this to keep it really simple, and it kind of makes it decorative. And then you're going to egg wash all of them, and then I like to add the big sugar on top. It just makes it extra decadent, and you're going to bake that, and they come out and they're really yummy. I definitely suggest eating them the same day. The next day they aren't as fresh, I would say, in my opinion, but baked goods are just better the day of, you know. Puff pastry just makes them just delightful because it's nice and airy, and it's just a really easy. For this next recipe, you're gonna take regular cinnamon roll dough and just maybe cut it in half in case you don't want too much. But once it has risen, you are going to just take some small chunks of it, spread it out about maybe 2 inches or so. Then you're gonna take a small scoop of cream cheese and add that to the middle, and you're just gonna twist off the excess dough, and you're just gonna make a ton of the little balls and just start layering them into the dish. You're basically making like a monkey bread, but with a twist because you're adding the cream cheese. It is so decadent and good. It just kind of takes it to that next level. So you're gonna let that sit for a little bit, and then I ended up mixing butter, brown sugar, cinnamon together, and I made it a little too thick, so add a little bit more butter next time. And then just spread that over the top, and you're going to bake it, and then it's going to come out, and then you can see it's already deflating, but it is delicious. It's so good. I topped it with a little bit of powdered sugar, and then the kids wanted it a little extra sweeter, so I added icing on top. But it's a great recipe to take to a party or something, or if you want something decadent for Christmas morning. This is super easy, and I hope you enjoy it. And it doesn't stick to the pan as long as you grease it. Well, I sure hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. I will have some of the recipes in the description box for you. Everything will be linked there for you as well as in the comments. I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day. Merry Christmas, and I will see you all very soon. Have a blessed day.